This episode of On the Line is presented to you by Living.fit, your one stop for all your fitness needs. Make sure you go download the app Living.fit today. Now here's the show. Welcome to On the Line. Today is Monday, August 9th, and we got a very fun show today. We got Tyson Nam on the show as he makes his return at UFC San Diego. We got our bonuses for the week. We got our winners and losers for the week. Very fun show. But before we get into that, listen on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Listen on Apple, Spotify, Deezer, Stitcher, any other podcasting platform. Hit that follow. Leave a review like the cool kids. But this is the last week of our co-host applications. Rumor on the street is we might have a couple people in mind. So that'll end on Friday. Then we hope to have that person going by UFC 278. So without further ado, let's go on and dive on into Tyson Nam. We are joined by one of the most underappreciated fighters in the UFC. He eats, sleeps, and shits MMA. We are joined by Tyson Nam. My man, what's up?
Nothing much. Just another day, another dollar, and yeah, that's what we do.
That's what we do. So one real question. I haven't talked to 125er in a minute, and I've always been curious about this. How often do people hit you up, since you are a 125er, that they can beat you up because you're a little bit smaller than the normal guys on the UFC roster?
Not necessarily that they can beat me up, but just saying, how do you make that weight is more often, because they know I don't take no shit, and I'll punch you on the spot. You think you beat me up? See you face to face. Nothing just edges me more than that. I enjoy that. I live this life.
I was gonna say, because you and Ode are both two of the bigger, you guys are some of the bigger 125ers. Really, you said this in the past. If there was a 130-pound class, you'd be perfect for it. But luckily, it's just one of those things where now you're down to one. You have to do 125.
Yeah, we're kind of like those in betweeners. 25 is just a rough day, and 35, the guys are still outweighing us by 10, 15 pounds a night of. So 130 would have been good, but hey, this is the profession that we chose, and we gotta stay professional. We gotta hit that mark on a weigh-in day.
Exactly. That's half the battle. It is half the battle, and I know it is what it is. So we are what? It's been 19 months since your last fight. We are now 10 days away. Is this going to feel like probably the longest 10 days of your life? Because it's been so long now. Not only that, but it's also your first time in front of fans since right before the pandemic.
Not necessarily the longest time. It might actually be the shortest time, because I haven't done it for quick minutes. So, and especially in front of fans, I was so used to fighting in front of just a few people. So it's going to be a change of pace, but I've been doing this for well over a decade. So, it's nothing that I have not seen. This ain't my first rodeo.
No, it's not. Really, it isn't. And as I said at the beginning, you are one of the more underappreciated guys. I feel like you've kind of been, like a sacrificial lamb a handful of times. And every single time they make you a sacrificial lamb, it just backfires completely for the promotion. And then they fucked you over, which is why it took you so long to get into the UFC.
They did. But, yeah, just with that in general, I mean, yeah, I like to throw monkey wrenches all into everyone's plans all the time.
Exactly. And I mean, I feel like I don't think you're a sacrificial lamb here. I think this is just a fight to see who's going to make their way up into the rankings. Going to take to gear spot, which don't want to look past Ode or anything. Even with the win and everything, is that going to be who you're going to call out since they get pulled out twice, or we're moving past him with the win next Saturday?
2 times canceled. That's just a bad karma fight already. We shouldn't even think or touch upon that. We should probably both just go our separate ways and maybe meet up later. But for now, it doesn't seem like it wants to happen. Things just don't align correctly between me and Tagir.
And it's kind of one of those things where it's kind of you have those kind of matchups where they'll keep getting booked and they keep getting canceled. It's almost just what's the point?
Yeah.
I just want to. It's bad juju. Let's go into something different. And
hey, maybe we'll just spar one day instead. We could do that instead.
Just close doors, just you and you hand to hand, see who comes out the better man. The old school way. So I think one of the cool things about this fight with Ode is you guys have a lot of similarities, in terms of as I said at the very beginning, you guys are both bigger for the 125 division. You kind of both share the same knockouts of the same people, and you also come from a similar group of people. Have you ever I think I've heard you say you never trained with him, but have you met him and before all this?
I have not. We have not met personally. Even though, yeah, we do share common friendships. Vince Morales, Ricky Simone, those two specifically, but um, our mutual friend, we're staying out of it, and we're not like, oh, you should be doing this and this and that, and he's weak here and this and that. So I mean, it'll just be a good fight. It'll be just a good, clean, old fashioned fight.
Yeah, and it'll be a very fun fight. Very for some reason, I don't know why they're using you guys as the opener, maybe just to kick off the action, get everyone kind of like, all right, that's fight of the night. Now we got to follow it up. I feel like that's a little disrespectful to you guys because I feel like you guys might be the best fighter in the whole no, for a lot of the card.
That could actually be the best thing. You want to get that crowd going. You put some exciting fights in the beginning this way. You don't want to start off something as a snooze fest, so might as
No.
well start it off with some uh, uh, just a barn burner.
Exactly, and you guys hit pretty fucking hard. You guys both have that knockout power, so it should be a fun fight. It's kind of cool, like how the 125 division. I know, I like you probably hear this like all the time. Is like 125 division was like dead, and it's kind of been rejuvenated. And it's like all the guys that are now in it are just all fun fighters, and it's kind of like a thing too, where you all beat up on each other too. Where it's like you beat one person, then they beat someone else, but you beat that person. It's like the MMA math, for instance, like never adds up because you guys just all beat each other and just keeps rotating.
Yeah, it's just styles make matchups, and one person's got that other person's number, and the other person's got the other person's number. So I mean, it's confusing, but the UFC itself. I mean, I think they went through their little revamping of the division, and they kept and brought in some the exciting fighters that do have that knockout power. Because I mean, I feel like that's the only thing that we were lacking before. It wasn't anything else. It wasn't skill. It wasn't excitement. It wasn't movement. It was just the put you to sleep with one strike. But now we got that, so we're back on we're back in business.
Oh, they're back in business. It's like the highlights. Like it was just like the fights would be fun, but like for instance, like you want to see the highlights like on Sports Center, things like that, or like any like the top
Mm,
10 reels. Like you want to see it on Twitter trending or anything like that. But as we said,
yeah.
now you got the heavy hitters, you got the finishers, all across the division. It is fun, and so I know one of the reasons why you took so long off was because you had a bunch of surgery, repaired the knee or whatever. Did you know about that
Mhm.
injury before the original Taguir fight got called off, or is that something you discovered after that?
It was the exact same day that he had to pull out the fight. It was almost, I mean, very upsetting, but it was almost like hilarious at the same time that we both had to pull out on top of the same day. It was like, okay, that's one, and then we try to schedule it again, and almost like deja vu happened. So let's try not to do that again. We'll go our separate ways from there on out.
So was it like I'm assuming so if you were gone for like a year, I'm assuming it was like an ACL, MCL kind of deal with the knee.
Yeah, yeah, it was the infamous ACL.
Ooh.
So I mean, I had to go through the whole process of the rehab, the progressions, all of the depression, the pain, everything under the sun. But I was really diligent with it, and I made it up in my mind from it was probably about 10 days post op when I had my first physical therapy session. That hey, I'm not gonna wait till 3 months before I have a fight. My training for my next fight actually happens right now, 10 days out. So we went through the whole thing. I had a great I rehabbed it like no other, and it's actually stronger now than actually my good leg. Go figure.
That's kind of crazy. I know it happened to me. I broke my ankle and the same thing happened. Like not the knee isn't
Mm.
strong, but my ankle's now stronger. But they're both still like destroyed and they're not good. But they're terrible, terrible ankles, terrible joints. My legs are fucked. But so is another one. Was it also just really frustrating too? Because like I mean I know you said like a year or two ago you said that you felt like you're for some reason you're getting in your prime later in your career. But was it kind of frustrating getting that injury and being out for a year, especially as you're getting up there in age?
It was very frustrating. Um, and at the same time, I knew I really had to almost like reinvent myself, just from the way that I eat, the way that I sleep, the way that I train, which I did. I had a year to do it, which it usually takes that long for someone to reinvent themselves. And I think I actually accomplished my goals, and even progressed even more than I thought I would have been from a year ago. So I feel like I'm even better than ever. I feel like I'm still in my prime, and but we won't know until in another 10 days, though. Never know.
We never know. You never know. And hell, who knows? Maybe you'll come out and then you'll be back in the less than 30-second knockouts. You
Hey,
just
we'll
this.
see.
We'll see. We'll see. It's the beauty of the game. It's the beauty of the game. One thing I've always also been fascinated about too, with like, I mean, I'm assuming in this process, at some point, you're like, I know you love lifting weights, and I see you lifting weights. Is there a point where like you can't go above a certain weight because like I don't want to gain too much muscle because then this cut to 125 is just going to be even worse. And I don't want to have to deal with that.
I do have to weigh myself on a daily basis just because I'm on the heavier side of the weight class. So it's kind of like, when I see like 150, 150, oh shit, I gotta go vegetarian. I mean, I gotta stop eating all these things because my family in general, they're bigger people, 200 plus pounds. So if I'm not really adamant with like what goes into my body, I can definitely gain the weight. And I do not want to be cutting any more, dropping down any more than 25, 27 pounds, just because the percentage of body weight, that's a lot higher for a flyweight in comparison to say like a heavyweight. So you gotta do the science, you gotta do the math, and you gotta still be able to lose the weight but still have enough energy to actually train to get better, to prepare yourself for these upcoming fights.
So when you're at 135, it sounds like it was a lot easier for you on your body and everything like that. But you're probably it sounds like also you weren't eating as well. It was a little bit of a
Yeah.
mixed bag.
Yeah, like when I was still at 135, um, there just wasn't any discipline there. I wasn't in as good a shape. And even now when I do rehydrate, I actually weigh more when I make the flyweight weight than the bantamweight
Jeez.
division. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just a slower of my metabolism, but I mean, it's probably just a better. It's just better all around for me. I'm just way more disciplined when I do make that flyweight weight class.
I mean, you do look big in there. You look very big in there, and it's one of those things too where it's just you have that. Yeah, it's all that other stuff. It's very fascinating with the whole weight cut thing and how like that's really weird how you weigh more at 125 in the cage. You do at
Yeah,
135 in the cage. Weird
I think
science.
it's yeah, I think it's that survival mode where your body is just depleted and just holds on to everything when you come back because it thinks it's dying. I think it's something of that sort.
Yeah, probably. What do we know? I just talk on the camera and you fight in the octagon, and you also help
I just
people.
fight an African. I
You just
do.
fight people. You punch people in the face. Do you still have to wait on that one first punch in the face to really wake up when you're in a fight, or have you gotten kind of over that?
Huh. I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
No
But I
idea.
do feel, but I know that I do feel alive more so when I get punched in the face. I
Yeah.
do know that. I don't know if it always takes a punch to wake me up, but I do know like statistically, like it kind of feels a little bit good to get punched in the face for some reason. So maybe I should probably get punched in the face in the back rooms. This way I'm just ready to go and step into the cage. We could do
Maybe
that.
maybe not the whole Clay Guida thing, just getting smacked all over the
Oh
fucking
no, no.
face. No, not that. Maybe
Yeah,
just a
no.
nice little stiff jab, really wake you up.
Just a soft one. Just a soft
Yeah.
one.
Just a soft one. Just a soft one. Just a soft one. Just to wake you up. And speaking of like, you had that one really quick knockout over to Adeshev, and I remember they gave you like a 7-day suspension. Did you ever figure out like why they gave you a 7-day suspension for that? I've always wondered about that when you have these quick knockouts. You're like, oh yeah, he's medically suspended for 7 days. Like, why?
Oh no, that's just mandatory.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, it's just a mandatory. So it's nothing to it. It's not like I would actually want to fight the very next weekend, anyways. I already just rehydrated past. I'm not trying to kill myself to make that weight again. So
No.
yeah, it's just mandatory, just like anything else.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's. I feel like that makes a lot more sense. Even though you've had like a couple guys who will like step up the next week, but usually it's their weights are usually relatively kind of close to it. But it is what it is. It is what it is. You were also pretty damn
Yeah.
calm after that knockout too. But it did seem here like you were really holding everything in because that was your first
Yeah,
big knockout in the UFC.
it was I've always done it outside of the octagon, in Russia, in Brazil. I've done it in all these other places, but just never done it on top of the biggest stage in front of my own North America, my own home country. I've done it in everyone else's country except for my own. So when that happened, it was almost just like, oh yeah, all of the emotions just came out just because like that would have just been so heartbreaking if I couldn't do it in front of my own people.
And again, you probably had like back against the wall mentality in that fight too. You're like, I need to get a win too. So if I can like make sure I'm not getting cut, and after all
Mm-hmm.
these years, is kind of, I don't know, kind of like that the doubt thing. Not even doubt, because you just kind of got fucked over. Kind of already said you kind of got fucked over for a good portion of your career of trying to get into UFC. Like, when did they actually didn't they
Yeah,
offer you and you wanted to go, and then like Bellator, you never fought for them, like had your rights or something?
2012, Bjorn
Oh
Rebney,
man.
Eduardo Dantes. After that knockout, I believe like the rumor was like I was gonna um fight against Uriah Faber on like a New Year's Eve card or something, like a few months down the line or something of that sort. But that would have been my first ticket into the UFC. Yeah, and then of course in 2017 I knocked out the former number one UFC contender Ali Bagutinov in Russia in Moscow, and that they ain't gonna let me go to the UFC after knocking out their country's hero. So two times I knock out a country's hero, and they try to hold me with their contract clauses, this and that bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, didn't you like? Was it in Brazil where like you were back to your hotel and then they're gonna go eat this restaurant, and then like they wouldn't feed you or something like that?
So after I knock out Eduardo Dantes, we go back to they put us in the most rinkety dink hotel possible. Like, I mean, like the elevator, you had to like stand like back back to front for if there's two people inside. It was that small. It's like there's a small little elevator.
I
But
would have took the
any which
stairs.
way, I don't think they even had stairs.
What the fuck? They were trying to.
I mean, we wasn't trying to walk around and search for it, but yeah, I don't think they even had stairs. I think we even tried looking. But any which way, after the fight, they hand us just thousands of dollars in cash, and we're like, oh wait a minute, we're in Brazil with cash. I'm pretty sure that someone probably told somebody that how much cash we're having. So we went to the hotel, we grabbed whatever beers we had before, and we disappeared at the beach up on Flamingo Beach, and was just lost to the world in case anyone wanted to come looking for us or whatnot. We wouldn't be there. But the next morning, we don't leave Rio till like 4 p.m., like in the afternoon or something. Like I freaking I wake up at 7 a.m. I'm freaking still on a adrenaline high. My coach is like, "Hey, go back to sleep." I'm like, I wish I could. I wish I could. But yeah, I'm just like staring at the ceiling for about an hour. I'm like, fuck, I'm just fucking hungry. I don't even remember eating last night. So I'm like starving, and like, oh yeah, let's go to the restaurant. They said that we can eat there the entire time for free. And we go over there and we're like, can we get seated to eat? And the lady's like, no, like the promotion said that we could come here to eat. No, you can't because you beat my friend. I'm like, fuck. Thanks. So I mean, we go back and we're walking around for a couple hours. We're starving, and we don't have any of the Brazilian money or anything of that sort. So I mean, we're like two nomads just wandering the streets in Brazil, like during the daytime. Like, fuck, let's go to the airport. At least over there, we could probably grab something to eat. So I mean, we're trying to go to the airport like 4 or 5 hours before our flight. We don't have any money, so we can't catch a taxi. And I mean, the
Oh.
airport's probably like 20 miles away. We ain't walking that. But for some reason, the concierge at that rinkety dink hotel paid the taxi driver to take us to the airport. I really,
Wow.
I really wish, I really wish I knew his name. I'd send him um, 5, 10 times the amount of money that he gave us for the taxi ride. But I didn't get his name down. Thank God to
Damn.
whoever it was, because I don't know how the hell we would have got to the airport.
Dude, you guys would have like hitchhike or something, and then at that point, if you hitchhike in Brazil, you're asking for trouble. You're
No,
asking for
yeah,
trouble.
no.
That's not
We
that
already
smooth.
know. Yeah,
Yeah, you're already on
no
the tough
good.
seat there. No, that's like that. They were setting you
Ugh.
up for failure. Like, put not only were they trying to put you up as like the sacrificial lamb, they tried to put you out there in like the worst hotel imaginable. I mean, they're really trying to
Ugh.
fuck with you.
Yeah. So I mean, everyone was real nice all the way up until I knocked out their
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 boy.
friend and everybody. So that's okay.
It is okay.
That's
It is what
okay.
it is. It is what it is. You win. That's all that
Uh,
matters. Did you have
You
a
know,
similar situation in Russia, or was it, or were they a little bit more chill?
no, I mean Russia is Russia, but um, yeah, everyone. All I heard was booze when I walked out, and then especially when I knocked out Ali. Oh, I thought a riot was gonna happen. My corners are outside the cage, like looking around, like, oh shit, there's like a arena full of people just upset and angry. They turn around and look at me in the middle of the cage, flicking everybody off. They're like, Tyson, what are you doing? It's like if I was to run out over there right now, I bet you it would scatter. It would scatter right now. But I just did. I don't care. I'm crazy right now. Let me at them. And there was even like fighters that fought on earlier on in the night, running up to the cage. Tyson, I f you, whatever, however he could translate into English. But I was like, yeah, come and step into that door right up over there, see what happens to you next. But I mean, it's just I just been through wild times, I should probably write a book later on, but it's something that I feel like it it's almost like scenes that only happens in movies.
Everything sounds like straight out of a movie or like
Uh,
fake story you would hear from somebody. It just kind of like straight up out of a TV show. That's all it sounds like.
Fiction,
You
all
could make you could
fiction.
just make a TV show about yourself and just be like, this is just kind of my road to getting to the UFC, and it's just you going to enemy territory and just knocking out like these people, like there's their favorite people,
Like,
and you don't even have to dramatize it. You already got enough.
no, no, I couldn't even make this stuff up even if I wanted to.
That's so fucking crazy. I just feel like too. Then, like when you're in Russia, I mean, like, did they start throwing shit in the in the cage ring, whatever it was?
That they did not. They
Oh,
did not
I'm
do
assuming in
that
Brazil
though.
they did.
No, so luckily both times. So in Brazil, we fought on the Special Forces base. It was called
Okay.
Popi. It was like their form of, I don't know, SWAT, to where from the hotel they actually escorted us with ARs and just bikes holding up traffic to get the bus to the compound. So it was wild. It was wild just to get there. I was like, oh gosh, you know, Humvees again, all kinds of guns, all kinds of guns. But so luckily on top of that, it was kind of like a closed event of just like certain people. So actually, when I knocked out Eduardo, I literally heard crickets. It just
Oh.
went silence, and that's why I ran away. I fucking ran away. And like on top of the videos, it's like, oh yeah, he ran out and then they looped me back in, interviewing me. There was a segment for about 20 minutes where they couldn't find me. They
Where
cut
were
that
you?
scene out.
Where were
I,
you?
I was I was running around in the locker room. They didn't think I was gonna run to the locker room. I was just running circles in the locker room, just screaming. I was just screaming in the locker room.
That's so
But
crazy.
yeah, but up in Russia, I want to say that the arena up in Moscow, it looked like it was a fancier. It was like one of their ice rinks, arenas, whatever. But it looked like a pretty um admirable crowd up in there. It didn't look like a bunch of like riffraffs. People were dressed up nice in like their suits and their nice dresses, and so it didn't look like any of those guys.
So it's
Well,
like an
majority of the
old
fans.
school boxing kind of fans where everyone's in
Yeah,
their
yeah.
suits, not really too
Everybody's
rowdy.
respectable, but I
Yeah.
mean, but I mean, they still yelled obscenities in Russian, which I could probably understand in English if I just looked at their face and said what they were saying. I could translate it for you, but it didn't look like majority of the arena wanted to actually, but they just wanted to scream
Yeah.
stupid things.
Yeah. I mean, that's to be fair. That's how it is in America too. People just yell the dumbest shit.
Oh yeah, oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Once you get to experience again here in 10 days, which has been a minute, you haven't really experienced
yeah.
you spent you were in, so the last time you fought was in front of fans was in New Zealand. So that was a little bit different too.
Zealand.
I feel like you haven't fought in America really a whole lot, even though you've been in the UFC too. It's kind of been like either been in Apex, New Zealand, and then you had what, like two other
At
fights?
the
One other fight.
two in at the two in Vegas at the Apex, and then I had the very last one against Schnell in Abu Dhabi.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Did I feel like you
Yeah.
were back in the old regional, not regional days, but like the other promotions, like before UFC? Did it feel like you were kind of going back in time when you went to Abu Dhabi?
No, no. I was expecting a little bit more, but that was in the middle of the pandemic, so we couldn't even go anywhere. We couldn't even leave the grounds of the hotel. We were stuck there. Yeah, thank God it was like a 4-star hotel because I mean it was massive. I mean you could walk around, but I mean you could only walk around so much around on top of the lawn. We
Yeah,
seen all the everyone driving race cars and whatnot, having a grand old time, but we could only watch them from our rooms.
you're just stuck in your room, couldn't do anything. Oh
Man,
man, didn't the cars keep?
just
I know the cars are like keeping people awake and stuff too. Like, did it?
there
Did
was
you
a
have a problem with
certain
that?
time. Now there's a certain time that they had to stop though.
Okay. Did you
Yeah.
try to do the time adjusting, or did you just go there and just try to keep the normal like pattern, even though you'd sleep during the day because you were fighting like it'd be like in the morning there, but like at night.
Actually, my when I fought, I think I fought around 9 p.m. ish, 10 p.m. ish their time, so it wasn't too bad.
Okay.
You know, I'm a night owl anyway, so I stay up late, and it didn't take too much to adjust to training around that time and being awake and prepared during that time when we're supposed to fight.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. So real quick, I know like there's a lot of Hawaii fighters, and I feel like a lot of you guys are all durable as shit. You guys all like you're game. You're like all game. Why is that? Why are you guys always so like game and like able to take so many shots?
We start doing it since we're kids. You know, we go fight on the playground. Rough house. It's just something that we just enjoy doing. I don't know. Just like I said, when I get punched in the face, it like makes me feel alive. I don't know what that mentality is from, but I mean, I do know that the Hawaiian culture. I mean, they're a warrior class. I mean, they've been invaded from time to time. Tribes just fighting each other, hand to hand combat from whenever they came over. So it's just something that's in the culture, in the blood, probably in the water. So
Yeah.
that's
What
what we
about
just like doing.
yeah. I mean, I know, like, it's crazy. You guys have so many fighters and like a lot of really good fighters too. Also, why don't you have the tribal tattoos? Just out of curiosity, is it just like a personal decision? You don't really want them?
I am deathly afraid of needles.
Oh,
My mother wanted me to get a tattoo in high school, and I told her, no. Are you crazy? I'm deathly afraid of needles. I have to like lay down for them to like draw blood from
for
me.
like
Otherwise, I might
hours
get
and
faint.
hours of just them just like
Oh,
drilling into your skin.
yeah. And everyone always says, "Oh, it's different. It's just like this." I'm like, no, you don't even understand my phobia for needles. Like that's gonna get me.
It's gonna get you moving a little bit. You don't want.
Yeah.
I always think it's crazy how like there's other guys who don't like really like needles. Like you guys will go fight people in a cage, but like needles, nah, not me. Like I'm cool with getting needles.
So
I don't
weird.
want to go fight in the
Yeah.
cage, but like I'll take a needle. Like I used to sell plasma like in college or whatever. But like I want to look at it, but like all right, I'm cool with having the needle in my arm. But like I want to go into an octagon or a cage and try to fight somebody. Like it's crazy how you have those little
Yeah,
like
it's just
differences.
yeah, it's just that mindset, I guess. I don't know.
I guess.
Rather
I
get
guess.
punched. Or I say I'd rather get punched than instead of getting stabbed with a needle.
Yeah, I guess. Oh, that is fair though. That is actually very fair. So, real quick, I know you're a big '80s and '90s film. You love those. You love like those action films and stuff. I want you to rank these three people in order, one through three. You got Arnold, Jean Claude Van Damme, and Sylvester Stallone. If you had to rank them one through three,
Jean-Claude, Sylvester, and then Arnold.
Arnold number
But
three.
not it is so close and far and few in between just because
Okay.
my favorite movies,
Okay.
not necessarily the actors,
Okay.
Bloodsport, hands down. You know, all of the Rockies, at least Rockies 1 through 5.
Okay.
And then you got Arnold with just everything under the sun, Terminator, Last Action Hero, but not necessarily that they are my favorite in that ranking, but it's just so close in between. It just comes down to like the movies that I like watching.
That makes sense. That's fair. That's very fair. That's very, very fair. All right, man. So one more thing before I let you go. So I know you like to do you own a UFC gym out there in Hawaii, right?
I wish I did own it, but I do go to it.
Oh, I thought you said
um,
you own it, or
all
you're just like
the
a manager there.
No, no, no. I used to work at the UFC gym up over here, but we have one, two, three corporate gyms now. All of them are BJ Penn signature gyms. I
Okay.
think that's the deal with having UFC gyms in Hawaii is they are signature BJ Penn gyms. So
Okay.
I used to work at one. I still go and use the facility to work out at, and it's a great gym. It's like a big, huge, super 24-hour fitness, but you can have punching and kickboxing, jujitsu classes instead of like your regular group X classes that they have at 24-hour fitness.
So what do you do? So are you a full time fighter then? You're no longer doing training and things like that?
Full time since the pandemic. I They wanted me to come back, but I was like, you know, I had those two knockout wins. I was like, I need to spend 100%. And I've never done it before to where I spent 100% just training. I always would go and work out, and I would train a couple people, work out again, and then try to train a couple people. It is exhausting that way. It's exhausting. Not necessarily like it's not a physically draining job, but it's mentally draining, right? You always got to be entertaining toward your clients. You got to be all this and that. You still got to be high energy, which I just don't have that energy to give after I just worked out for like I had a 2 hour session, practice, and now I gotta look forward to another 2 hour session practice after I help to train you. So there's not much energy left in between those.
No, 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 no. And then especially when you get closer to the fight, you're starting to cut, and obviously when you start cutting weight, you get a little more moody and a little more, you get pissed a little more easily. That's just kind of how it works. So I feel like probably those
People
last
is
couple of weeks,
Yeah,
yeah, probably get a little frustrating at times.
people are so upsetting at that moment.
That's just how it is, man. It's just how it is. So before I let you go, obviously you're not gonna say like I'm gonna lose. You're not gonna say I'm gonna win by decision. How are you gonna finish Ode Osbourne next week at UFC San Diego?
I'll tell you this: we're probably going to meet up in the center. We're probably going to throw a bunch of punches and kicks at each other, and someone's probably going to go down.
And you guys gonna make 50K probably. Both probably gonna make 50K.
I hope.
50
Shit,
G's.
I hope. I could use that. I could buy a lot of steak with that.
Yes, after about 19 months, that 50 G's will look real nice and pretty. All right, man. So before I let you go, if there's anything you want to shout out, sponsors, the socials, whatever, go ahead and do so.
Hey, check me out on Instagram, Namino11, Twitter, good old fashioned Tyson Nam. Follow me as I make my way back to that octagon.
That was a very fun interview with our man Tyson. Let's go into this past weekend, UFC Vegas 59, Sweet Dream Stadium. Our boy Jamal comes out with some big fat dubs. It all finishes, one of the best cards of the year. When how as we always say, every time it sounds like it's gonna suck, it's gonna rock. So probably this weekend when everyone says this card's gonna suck, it's gonna rock. But let's go on into our bonuses real quick. Obviously, fight of the night for me, Chad Luque versus Virgin Luque. Vincente Luque has one of the most legendary chins in UFC history. He got murdered by Jeff Neal, DUI Neal. Tough scenes. We are seeing a lot of legendary chins go away, which we'll get into later. But man, that was a tough scene. Also, Jeff Neal against not throwing an uppercut. Honorable mention, just because he threw 9 in a row. Just spam the A and X button. Couldn't put him down. I had to take a couple more shots, but no. Chad Luque versus Virgin Luque gets my fight of the night. Performance bonus goes to Juice. What do I mean by Juice? I'm not referring to OJ. I'm referring to steroids. Muhammad Usman knocks out our boy Zach Palga. Tough scenes. He'll bounce back, but
Oh
Dude,
yeah.
you can see the injection marks. I'm not saying that's the reason he beat him, but like it's obvious he's on the juice. Then also, another guy going against a friend of the program, Josh Quinlan, tested positive for the second time for steroids, but like it was at a certain threshold where you can still fight. I don't know the whole story, but
Mhm.
regardless, the juice won this week. A lot of performances all over the place. Steroids are back. So shout out to the juice. The juice is back.
I I would love to see an MMA competition where everybody's just juiced up to hell and
They
beating
are.
the hell out of each other.
They
Oh well,
they
you know
they
what I mean. They're
they
like
literally
legally
all
doing
are.
it.
No, they literally all are. It's just
Yeah.
all about you can get away from USADA easily. Just the fact that
Oh yeah.
Josh got caught twice. He's not juicing right. He's doing it incorrectly. But yeah, the juice is back. The juice is back. Let's go
Juice
on
is
in then.
loose.
What? Juice is
Juice is
loose. Juice
loose.
is loose. All right, let's move in to our winners and losers for the weekend. Harrison, why don't you start us off with your first winner?
Yeah, my first winner goes to trumpets because Edwin Diaz is bringing those back in a big way. You can't tell me that his entrance onto the field every time isn't the most electric thing going on right now in sports. Like, I'm a
New
Phillies fan.
York
I
knows what
hate
they're
the
doing.
Mets.
New York knows what
New
they have
York
from the
knows what they're
Manny.
doing.
Who? Oh my god, I forget his name.
Oh,
Oh my god, the old closer for the Yankees. I feel like a
oh,
dipshit
yeah.
for being a sports
One of the
podcast. This is
goats. Yeah,
tough.
one of the yeah.
This is tough. I'm gonna look it
This
up
is
so
bad
we can feel
luck.
really
This is
stupid.
bad
Anyway,
luck.
continue what you're saying.
But yeah, the as much as I hate the Mets, I can't help but have a massive shit eating grin every time I hear that trumpet kick in, and it's like ridiculous.
Right?
Mariano Rivera.
Yeah, yeah. I knew it was Mariano. I didn't remember if it was at
Yeah.
the end or the front. I was like, oh fuck, man. I thought it was like Rivera Mariano. Like I don't know. I feel
Something like that.
well. Welcome to
I mean,
us
he's the
being.
goat. Goat closer.
He's the best closer of all time, man. I feel stupid as fuck. Remember Kevin Rodriguez
Oh yeah, K
when he was
Rod.
on the Angels when the Angels were like
Yeah.
actually good? Ooh, he was filthy. And then he got
The
signed by the
streets.
Mets, and then
Yeah.
the Mets fucking sucked. Kind of
The
funny how that
streets will
works.
never. Yeah. The streets will never forget Lights Out Lidge though in 2008, 48 for 48 on closes and
Ooh.
winning the World Series for the Phils.
I forgot about him, so I'll tell you that I had no idea who his name was. So there we go. Welcome.
Listen,
There's your Philly.
yeah.
There's your Philly talk of the day.
That is the
Maybe I
Philly
don't
talk of the
know.
day, actually.
We
No, it
might
is
have
the Philly
more.
talk of the
Oh
day.
wow, there we go. There's Philly.
Yeah.
Let's go on to my first winner, Kevin Durant. So Kevin Durant, as you all know, he's obviously in his little trade discussions, all that kind of stuff. He ended someone's life today on Twitter. I love Kevin Durant's
This
Twitter.
dude is actually my first loser.
Oh, Michael
Michael
Patron.
Patron.
Yeah, Michael
Michael
Patron,
Patron is my
dude,
first loser.
fucking loser. So he says, car wouldn't start this morning. Got to work later. Internet is down. LOL. I love this shit. Unlike Kevin Durant, I actually enjoy taking the hardest road. It's basically just problem solving practice. And here comes
Yeah.
Kevin Durant finding a little soul to destroy. You enjoy having a shitty car and getting to work and not being able to connect to the internet. Oh,
That's Kevin Durant ethered
Oh,
him. That's such a loser
oh man,
mentality.
it
Like,
sucks too because his tweet before only got 52,000 likes, and the one after only got 7,500 likes. So,
jeez.
man, he got very
But
ratioed. Actually, let's see how many likes did my boy Michael get? Only
oh,
32. I wonder what his number was at before it got retweeted by Kevin Durant.
probably like one or two.
Let's see how many followers this guy has. Oh, he has
Uh,
11,000. How?
oh,
Eight-figure
what?
Amazon seller, anti-guru, 6 years at college, 32 total credits.
Wow.
Okay. Well, all of a sudden,
It's
maybe he got a lot.
interesting.
Well, maybe he got a lot of followers because of KD.
Oh, possibly. But dude, yeah. Just going off of that, my first loser is Michael Patron because loser mentality. Just yeah, I like having a hard path in life. My car sucks, my internet sucks, and I got to work late. Absolutely phenomenal stuff. Loser ass mentality.
So let's move on to our loser. Well, speaking of loser asses, friends of the program. Tough weekend. We
Oh my
were
god.
actually technically, if you throw in Rob Wilkinson, we were 2-5. UFC though we were 1-4. 1-4, sorry. So obviously Jamal got our boys fighting for like the championship aspirations. They all won.
Yeah,
So Rob
they're doing
Wilkinson
great.
now fighting for the PFL championship next. No big deal. No big deal. Ozzy.
That
Oi,
knee
oi,
was
oi.
filthy.
Oh, he was just
Oh,
he was
beautiful.
touching him up. Jamal Hill took him to Touch 'em Up University. Sweet dreams. Great fight, fun fight. So shout out to Jamal. Zach got bonked. That sucked. Sam Alvey also got bonked. Expected, but it is what it is. Actually, for a fun fact, I was talking about this. I'm going to disavow our association with Sam Alvey. I saw some tweets I did not know about. I knew he was. He was a little religious. I learned how religious he was. Disavowed. Don't want to get political, but tough scene. Sam Alvey.
Tough scene.
Like, I don't care what your political views are, as long as you don't just throw them out there and like shove it in your face. That's when it's like, oh, let's get out of here. So back to our muddied waters. We're disavowing Sam. That's our excuse. But the real reason is he's also not probably going to fight anytime soon. Tough scenes.
No way.
Tough scenes.
Yeah.
And then, actually, no, we were 1-3 because Jason Witt got moved to later. But technically, he won. You can say he won. He beat the Juice. So shout out Jason Witt.
Beat the Juice.
That's another win for the Vanilla Gorilla. Losers are friends of the program. Hopefully, we can break. Well, to be honest, but Gerald, who we got on Fridays, plus 240, and then Tyson Nam is like plus 200 as well against another friend of the program, Ode Osbourne. So there we go. We get a win no matter what there.
Exactly.
And then Devin Clark is like a plus 140, who we have on Friday. So we have some tough scenes. But anyway, let's go on and move on, Harrison, to your next winner.
My next winner is the man who is all the way up right now, Kanye goddamn West. R.I.P. Skeet, you're done for. It's Kanye season. We're about to get every single new album he's been planning to drop because now he has a good feeling in his veins. He's just rocking it all out. He's back on Instagram doing his thing. He even called out Kid Cudi. That was so funny. It was just like in the corner there. Kanye. All the way up.
As pro Kanye, we're pro Yeezy.
Pro Kanye.
I'm very excited. There's nothing better when Kanye has a certain mood. So he's probably about to release Donda 3. So be excited.
Donda 3.
He hasn't even fully released Donda 2 yet. Which, by the way, haven't listened to it yet. I don't have a connection whatsoever. I don't have the stems. But yeah. Shout out Kanye. Love Kanye. My winner is Calvin Ridley. When the Deshaun Watson 6-game suspension dropped, he just said, "Hey, everyone, I'm doing fine." He got like 40,000 likes. But shout out Calvin Ridley. He's a winner just because everyone is using his. Everyone's like, why is he suspended so long? This is bullshit. And he's taking the high road against a sexual serial predator, Deshaun Watson. So shout out Calvin Ridley. You're a winner this week. Can't wait for your suspension to get reduced. So shout out Calvin Ridley. Harrison, your last loser.
My last loser is Manchester United, and it is time for the Manchester United fall off, and I cannot be happier about that. They have been at the top of the Premier League and English soccer for way too long, even though they haven't been as good in recent years, but they are all the way down right now after an opening day loss to Brighton, 2-1. Like, you should have beaten them easily. Yesterday.
Was that even a sport?
Lost to Brighton. Oh.
Anyway, continue.
But and obviously Man City's going to win the league again. So you have your direct city rival just dominating right now. Ronaldo wants out. The program's falling to shit. It's just downfall of Manchester United era, and everybody I know who's a soccer fan that doesn't like Man U is just over the moon about it. So screw you, Man U. I can't wait to see you guys get relegated.
That's talking soccer. So we've covered almost all of our bases. Here. My loser, I mentioned it earlier with our bonuses. It goes to the legendary MMA chins. This year alone, we lost Tony Ferguson. We just lost Vicente Luque. Gaethje's showing signs that he's going to get murdered here soon. Sad. Masvidal, he got cracked. His chin's cracked. So may God have mercy on Max Holloway and Nate Diaz, who's about to fight Khamzat Chimaev. So he might get murdered. So losers at legendary MMA chins. We're seeing a lot of legendary chins go away. It's a sad day. But God have mercy on Chad Luque. That was tough. I've never seen my boy get rocked like that. So shout out that. All right. So that's what we got. Any shout outs, Harrison, before we wrap this thing up?
Shout out Kevin Durant. I mean, he officially put the trade request in today.
Another one.
Yeah, another one. He told Joe Tsai that he has no faith in the Nets program.
He also already wants Steve Nash fired too. That's the other thing.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, Steve Nash is not a phenomenal coach. He's just
by the way, that was their idea too. That was they're fucking stupid as shit. Well, who was their coach before? Like, let him do it was Atkinson.
Oh, Yeah, it was Atkinson. Yeah,
And he was a good coach. Again, this is the Nets' fault for they try to go all in and they just pick the wrong people. They picked Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett when they were like 40 years old, and they
Yep.
fought and they just trade all their assets. That didn't work. Then they actually made the playoffs with their rebuild, and then they traded away every piece that was good. So that's their
and
fault.
now one of the greatest players of all time really wants out. So
Yeah, tough. Well, I don't know where he's gonna
tough
go.
scene.
I don't know where he's gonna go. The
He
market's
could
been
wind up
fluctuated
anywhere.
by the greatest center of all time, Rudy Gobert.
The
I
GOAT.
do want to give a shout out to Tom Brady. He
Oh,
sent
yeah.
another hit on Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston rolled his ankle today. I'm just gonna go ahead and blame Tom Brady because he already put the bounty out on Jameis when the Saints were on the first game of the year against Saints last year. He put a bounty out on Jameis Winston's knee. They tore his ACL. I'm very sad to see within a week of training camp, he already has someone in that Saints organization going after my boy Jameis. I'm already riding high off
Shame.
Andrew Wiggins being the Andrew Wiggins truther, but as a Jameis Winston truther, that's all I want in my life. I want the Colts to win the Super Bowl, obviously, but
Yeah.
Jameis Winston, MVP candidate, not just a dark horse. Like I want to see his
An
odds.
actual candidate.
Like last year when I bet Jameis to win MVP after the first week when he threw 5 touchdowns, I tripled. I cashed out immediately. Like I'm not.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to double back down after he has a bad game. Little did I know he tore his ACL. So that was. And also, the Saints would have let him throw the ball. That was Mickey Mouse as fuck. But also, shout out Mickey Mouse. He's all over the place, man. All over the place.
Oh, yeah?
He just is.
Oh, and also, DeJounte Murray. What the hell's going on there?
Man, dude, what? He did not think
he did not. Paolo's back out.
Little boy too. He called him a little boy. I'm gonna blow your back out. That's I don't think he. I don't think he. I think he just immediately typed that. Didn't think about it. Sent it. Bad words.
Cue the Drewski video. What do you mean by that?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
What do you mean by that? It's like when I say blow my ass or blow my ass out or fuck my ass when something bad happens. I don't type that so people can read it.
It's I saw some foreign exchange student once said not to clap my own cheeks instead of not to toot my own horn, and I was like, oh my god.
I might start saying that. No way. Not to clap my own cheeks. Yeah, that's so funny. Oh my god.
It's a fantastic one. I hope nobody ever tells them because that's just so good.
Oh, I'm stealing it. That's mine now. That's mine now. No, actually, speaking of being gay, a couple weeks ago, I don't know if I've told this on camera. I don't even know if I told you. I was bartending and this guy. Did I tell this story already?
Yeah, you did tell me.
That when I told the guy I'm gay. Well, yeah. Well, if I had to tell the story,
he was being creepy and
I will tell this.
If you want to get a big Western guy to shut up.
If you want to get an old white to shut the fuck up, just tell him you're gay. But make sure you get the tips out of them first, like I did. But no, that was
exploit them, then get them out.
Actually, follow up to that. I said I ate an entire piece of cake in one bite. So I work at a wedding facility. You're like, oh, Tommy, is that a deep throat there? I'm like, no, it was like a little square piece of cake. That's not deep throating. Like, how do you know what a deep throat is? Like, what the fuck? Bananas. I can't shove a banana down my throat, but I can shove a piece of cake that just falls apart and then you put it in your mouth. Like, the fuck?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's easy. It crumbles.
It just melts in your mouth. It is what it is.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's what we got. All right, we're a couple of shows away from having a co-host. I'm pretty excited. I think the guy that I've been talking to, I think he already knows. If you're watching, don't get too excited. You never know. Someone might apply and take your spot. I don't know, but it is. I don't know what'll happen. I don't know. There's some people in my DMs. Can't tell who, but it is what it is. All right. We'll speak to you guys. A lot of fun shit coming. I'll talk to you guys on Friday when we got Devin Clark on the show. And see you guys on Friday. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around with me all the way to the end. I just want to once again thank the sponsor of the show, Living.Fit. If you're looking to better yourself, make sure you go to download the app or visit the website Living.Fit today.